In October 2020, Netflix raised the price of its US subscription once again. The standard plan, which allows 2 devices to enjoy HD content, increased from $13 to $14 a month, while the premium plan increased from $16 to $17 a month. Netflix has a constant habit of doing this every 2 or 3 years, as you can see from this chart. However, at the same time, their subscriber count keeps growing rapidly as customers can't seem to get enough of their content. So what is happening here? Why isn't Netflix losing subscribers as it increases prices? Yes, there was some outrage on Twitter, but as customers, we just still can't stop giving Netflix our hard-earned cash. In fact, in this video, I am going to argue that Netflix in the US at least is really cheap and that prices still have a long way to go from here. To better understand the economics of Netflix, you need to understand who Netflix competes with. Its 2 key streaming competitors are Disney Plus and Amazon Prime Video. Disney Plus starts at $8 a month, while the Amazon Prime package is a little more expensive at $12.99 a month. Disney Plus content is of course limited to Disney movies such as The Avengers, whereas Netflix and Amazon Prime are effectively all-encompassing services that provide movies, TV shows, documentaries, and sport. I should point out that Amazon Prime does have a multitude of benefits besides just content, such as the 1-day Prime delivery. So on the surface, comparing all 3 streaming services, you might think Netflix is the most expensive. However, let me give you a different perspective. While streaming services do compete with each other, they also compete with cable TV. Currently, there are 77.6 million US families that have cable TV packages which average around $60 a month. That statistic alone is why Netflix and also other streaming services will keep increasing their prices. Let me explain. Cable TV in the US is really expensive, with lower end packages starting at $40 to $50 a month, while higher end packages with premium channels such as HBO can be as much as $150 a month. You compare this to somewhere like India, where cable TV can cost as little as $5 a month for premium packages. It makes sense why Netflix is struggling to gain traction there. Cable TV, however, is declining fast in the US, with over 6 million households cutting their cord in 2020. These customers have had to balance paying for cable TV as well as streaming services such as Netflix, and got to a point where they find Netflix to be much higher value. And this trend is not stopping anytime soon. The average American has subscriptions to 3 different streaming services, while paying $30 a year for them, as well as paying the average $60 a month for TV. That's effectively a monthly $90 content budget that needs to be split up. As cable TV becomes less popular and Netflix becomes the best alternative to TV, someone who pays for free streaming services can spend at least a third of that budget on Netflix, which brings us to a standard Netflix package of $30 a month. For those who prefer premium packages and are spending as much as $150 a month on TV, probably wouldn't mind paying $50 a month to Netflix while getting rid of the enormous TV bill. So this gives Netflix plenty of room to increase prices in the near future without worrying about losing customers, as long as they keep providing quality content, which brings me nicely to my next point. How does Netflix decide its price? Let me clear up something. I don't want this video to be a critique of Netflix and their business strategies. In fact, Netflix is actually being quite kind to us by not increasing prices right now to somewhere around $30 a month. The plain fact is that making high quality content and also the sheer amount of content Netflix makes is really expensive. To back this up, let me give you some mind-boggling statistics. A ludicrous 45% of all content spent since 2010 on a global scale came from Netflix. Furthermore, in 2021, Netflix is planning to spend $17 billion on content. To put that into context, they spent $12 billion in 2020, while their key competitor Disney Plus spent a mere $1 billion that year. Disney is arguably the greatest and most famous studio in history and is still being financially outmuscled by Netflix. And if you watch their recent 2021 content trailer with the likes of The Rock and Leonardo DiCaprio, you can clearly see that Netflix doesn't mind splashing the cash.
Hello world, Gal Gadot is here.
And Uncle Handsome. Whoa, Ryan.
You might ask, where does this money come from? Netflix has been financing this incredible spending spree by racking up debt. If you look through their most recent annual report, you will see $16 billion of debt piled up that will have to be paid back eventually by raising prices. Don't be surprised when in 2030 you cuddle up for a Netflix and chill session and ask yourself why you are spending $50 a month on Netflix. In fact, just be content with the fact that you aren't paying a much higher TV bill. That is it from this episode of Mandora. If you enjoyed today, please like and subscribe so we can keep making high quality content like Netflix does.